Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of The Appetizer. This week I'm going to be talking about the brand new trailer for Godzilla, and it looks big. For now, that's all I'm going to say is that it looks big. I'll get into the rest in just a minute. A few announcements I wanted to make. I'm going to be bringing you guys quite a few videos this week, just because it is leading up to the Oscars. There's going to be the Godzilla trailer analysis, sort of off-the-cuffs episode of TV Dinner where I talk about the new Heroes series that's going to be happening in 2015, and then of course the Film Feast. I want to try and put out as much content so that I can have the night free to watch the Oscars, kind of write down all my thoughts and opinions, and just have everything there in front of me so I can make a video the next day, a sort of special episode of the Film Feast all about the Oscars. Now that that's all out of the way, let's get to the trailer. Oh wait, no, that wasn't the right one. Oddly enough, that's the only Godzilla movie that I've actually seen. Oh wait, no, that's a lie. I have seen Godzilla Final Wars, which from what I've read is arguably one of the worst Godzilla movies. I do own the 1954 Godzilla on Criterion. I just haven't gotten around to watching it yet. Although this new movie, directed by Gareth Edwards, does look like it sort of calls back to that movie and pulls some information from it, arguably tying it into the 1954 original, which I think is going to make really solid core fans excited for this new one. The trailer starts off by revealing an infinite mashup of cars on the highway, which eventually tilts up to reveal a plane crashed on the highway. We get to hear a little bit of Bryan Cranston's character, who didn't have any dialogue in the first teaser. He's talking about how these string of accidents that are happening around the world are not natural, that there is something bigger behind them, literally. We get to see a good bit of Las Vegas in absolute ruin. When I was a kid, I saw the teasers for Roland Emmerich's Godzilla, and even though I grew up realizing that that was an awful movie, it kind of piqued the same interest that I had when it came to movies like Jurassic Park, where I was very scared of the monster, but I was also insanely intrigued by it. The way it kind of rose out of the water, you could see the hump of water coming up and getting closer to the city. I had nightmares about it, but I also just needed to see it. The thing I really like about this trailer is that there's no connectivity between all the clips. I don't see how the storyline comes together yet, and I like that. I like not being able to exactly tell where the movie is going with its teaser clips. There's a bunch of soldiers trekking through the forest, and they discover, covered in a bunch of goo, an atomic something or other. This brings in the very eerie and notable 2001 A Space Odyssey music. We hear Ken Watanabe's character talking about how in 1954 the Japanese awakened something. This is what I'm talking about when I say that they're harkening back and pulling lore from the original 1954 film. Watanabe's character says that they were trying to kill Godzilla with the atomic tests in the Pacific. We see a few more clips showing the rest of the cast: Ken Watanabe, Aaron Taylor Johnson, a few more bits of Bryan Cranston. We see a bit of Godzilla's tail. We see something, I can't exactly tell what it is. We see something falling out of the sky, which I believe is one of the other monsters. The director, Gareth Edwards, confirmed that there will be more than one monster in the movie. Right after that monster falls out of the sky, there's this haunting imagery of all these jets plummeting one after the other. They also show some scientists, Watanabe included, going inside of this giant monster's corpse or skeleton, which I don't know what that could be. Throw your theories out there. We see a bunch of soldiers fire flares from a building top that eventually travel in front of Godzilla, and he's so huge that you can't exactly tell what the body part is, but I think it's his chest. And then cut to a giant hook-like appendage crashing down on the ground, which again I think is going to be another monster. Who knows, there are some theories out there. Let me know what your theories are about who that other monster might be. That moment cues a whole montage of clips. We see helicopters crashing and soldiers jumping off of bridges because one of the monsters ran into them, and Elizabeth Olsen's character, who hasn't gotten a single line in any of these trailers. And then boom, the money shot. We see a good solid front view of Godzilla doing his ever so iconic roar as the doors close over his face, and voila, that is Godzilla. Now, to be honest, I'm a little underwhelmed by this trailer. I'm a little hesitant to say that it looks good. Yes, there are a lot of good elements in it. You've got Bryan Cranston, Ken Watanabe, Sally Hawkins. You've got some great visual effects, but just some. And then there's Gareth Edwards, who directed the fantastic movie Monsters. And what I think makes that movie really excellent is the fact that it's his debut. I figured, give that guy more money and the rights to Godzilla, and he'll give you a damn good Godzilla movie. I do think he's obligated to give a lot of that screen time to Godzilla, which will take away from the huge cast that this movie does have. Yes, of course, some actors are going to be used a lot more than others. I think Bryan Cranston and Ken Watanabe and Aaron Taylor-Johnson are going to be used way more than David Strathairn. But will they be utilized in a way that makes the movie better? I'm not trying to imply that they are bad actors or that they will take away something from the film, but with Monsters, the human element was key for the film itself. The human element added to the film. It breathed life into the film. This, on the other hand, I feel like it's just inert.
The balls are inert.
Will this just be Gareth Edwards' way of getting the message of Monsters out there to a bigger audience? Or is he trying to do something significantly different? I'm still not quite sure. This trailer leads me to believe that it's just going to be destruction, destruction, destruction. Which, I don't know how well that worked for the original Godzilla movie and all of the films that followed it. I am looking very forward to diving into that world and that movie legacy to figure out exactly what it's all about, so that when this film does finally come out, I will have a better grip on what it's all about in the bigger picture. Because that's what a lot of these blockbusters miss nowadays, the bigger picture. If nothing else, I have very high hopes that this film will sort of revamp all the excitement around Godzilla and get people very excited for big monster movies again. Because, let's be honest, Pacific Rim didn't really do that last year. Godzilla is a name that people recognize. People hear that name and they know exactly what to expect. And if nothing else, this film will hopefully erase any bad memories you have of Roland Emmerich's Godzilla, starring Matthew Broderick. He's the lizard guy! The film comes out May 16th. Let me know what you think about the new trailer in the comments below. And that is it for The Appetizer.